Ladies and gentlemen, today is Friday the 13th. You should all be forewarned. Don't go to the camp. Camp Crystal Lake. It's a dangerous place. Uh-oh. He's coming. No. No. No! Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog Studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, P. Dog Night. And stop the music. Good damn morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, P. Dog Night, on this beautiful Friday the 13th, December of 2019. I didn't think about, what was going on there. Holy moly. Whole lots of crazy shit going on. It's just freaking scary out there. I'm telling you. I'm seeing Bubba Hotep's telling me that in under 10 minutes, they voted to impeach today. Apparently that's going to be breaking news. Let's check the old Twitter handle here real quick. Let's see. It's not at the top yet, but it will be. Let's see. Let's go into this just a couple. Let me check this out. 2 minutes and 53 seconds. Here we go. The House Judiciary Committee 6 minutes ago has approved the 2 articles of impeachment against President Trump along party lines. The articles will now go to the House floor. There will be some fireworks, and this shit is going nowhere. I'm just telling you. It's fairly ridiculous. Here's the let's see. Let me show you the CNN what they did here. This is here full screen. We'll get the sound on, and here we go.
All right, well, there you have history unfolding at the House Judiciary Committee. Major history, 2 articles of impeachment Abuse of
straight along
power,
party
obstruction of
lines.
Congress, approved along strict party lines. 23 Democrats in favor of those two articles of impeachment. 17 Republicans opposed. One Democrat, Ted Lieu of California, he's ill. He could not vote. Otherwise, it would have been 24 to 17.
Yeah, I guess Ted
Jeffrey
Lieu's an
Toobin,
idiot.
this is history unfolding, and now it sets the stage for a full vote on the House floor, presumably next Wednesday.
You could see it on the faces of the
Oh, look
members
how excited
of
Jerry
Congress
Nadler
as they
is.
voted. You know, they do a lot of voting, and it's usually a fairly routine task. But I think you saw on the faces of people on both sides the gravity of the situation.
Yeah,
the
the
fact
gravity for
that,
the Democrats
this
is they
is
just
a
don't
rare
want Trump to
event
be
in American
reelected.
history, and they all know
Oh,
that their
I'm telling you.
obituaries,
All
whenever
right.
they depart the world, it will be noted how they voted here and the fact that they served on this committee at this time. And
Yeah.
I think they recognize that, and they were appropriately sober.
It really was striking.
Whatever.
I totally agree, Jeff, to see after all the sort of vitriol of the past several months, particularly over the past 24 hours, in their chairs, somber faces. Martha Roby, she's retiring, she's a Republican, even had her son in the seat with her to mark the moment of history, even though she obviously doesn't support
appropriate. There you go.
In less than 10 minutes, they did this.
Yeah.
Just, flat on, right along, party line votes, they made history.
And here's a problem. Impeachment should be a bipartisan thing, but this is a railroad job. It just straight up is. And the articles of impeachment, well, we'll get into it. We're not going to watch any more of this crap for now because we'll get into it in a second. But today, I kind of wanted just to get into some of my bookmarks. I did a lot of bookmarks on Twitter last night and this morning for a bunch of different things. Yes, they voted on party lines. Oh, here's the actual vote, I'm guessing. Oh, thank you. Dick Rashirology donated $2 in the Streamlabs link down below. Yes, thank you. It says, I need a coffee. Well, I do have my reparations coffee right here. Thank you so much, Dick Rashirology. Dick Rashirology? I don't. Okay, I'm getting it. Dick Rashirology. Dick Rashirology. Okay, thank you very much for the $2 super chat. By the way, the Morning Night Live is brought to you by you, the viewers of the Morning Night Live. Please make sure you're liking it. Hit the like button. Hit the share button. That's more important. Retweet the tweet that I tweeted out. Thank you, Rolling Bear, Trucking Bear, and Grillin' Pirate Pete for already doing that. And also the Streamlabs link is in the description down below. It'll also show up in this chat once in a while. If you just forget to you click that link, and it's and you can donate to the channel and have your super chats read on the stream while we're streaming. Let's say a quick good morning before I move on. Now that we kind of got some things going here, I gotta check something though. There's something wrong here. I just let me fix something real quick because I want to make sure that. Let's see. This is donation widgets, and let's see here the alert box. We're fixing something up here, and I make sure I got this going. Okay, we're good. All right. Good morning, everybody. First of all, let's give the bell to C. Thomas, who was here first, and he was first again. And he was first again. But Richo came in about 2 seconds after the third first. Also, good morning to Rolling Bear, Grillin' Pirate Pete, both who have retweeted the stream out. Thank you again. X Bubba Hotech, Maniac Man, Green Thunder, Demighty, Pancalo, the Driving Ape Man, Circus Zero, Richo, I think I said Richo already, didn't I? Did I say Richo? Yeah, Richo, you were here second. And MC, it's hammer time. Hello, MC. Good morning, Cynical Lindsay, Duck Dog, Jason Burns, and the handful of people who are out there lurking. I am so glad that you are all here. And this is my regular crowd. I see people getting to know each other. You guys chat back and forth once in a while, and I love that. And right there in the chat, you can see that the super chat link is there in the stream in the chat. So good. Let's get it going. I bookmarked a whole bunch of stuff. It's kind of random, and goddamn stupid gift baskets. I don't know what that means, but anyway. Oh, by the way, the different amounts, you get different signals and different musical interludes and things. So just you can test that out too if you're into super chat. So, all right, let's get into some of my bookmarks now. Impeachment live updates. Trump praises Republican defenders as warriors, as Democratic House. Okay, this is the Washington Post. As Democrat-led House. Anyway, it's funny because I'm looking at this little Washington Post clip and it says the House Judiciary Committee is scheduled to resume at deliberations at 10 a.m. on 2 articles of impeachment focused on abuse and something. I don't know. I don't subscribe, so fuck it. I'm not. It's a Washington Post. Screw them. I don't need that shit. 6 minutes or 10 minutes. 10 minutes. They, because it was interesting because they adjourned last night without voting. And so you're kind of wondering, what was Jerry Nadler thinking when he adjourned last night without voting? Because they thought they were going to vote on it last night. And, if you remember yesterday, Jim Jordan was complaining that at 4:45, the Republicans got a notice that they had until 7 o'clock to be ready to include any amendments. And, it was just bullshit. They're not giving them any time. During the hearing yesterday, the Republicans requested to have their by House rule, the Republicans are supposed to be able to hold a minority party-led hearing. Jerry Nadler decided that wasn't going to happen, so they're not going by the normal House rules. And then this morning, they got 10 minutes to vote on it, and they voted on party lines. And I just, you know what? I think it's a terrible strategy by the Democrats. I just do. I think there's people in the House. There's lots of people who are in districts that tend to favor Trump, that this is going to hurt. But you know what? Hey, I don't care. If the Democrats want to hurt themselves, hurt themselves. The Senate's never going to get a 2/3 majority to remove the president from office. There's not a chance. You'd need 20 Republicans to go over to the other side. It ain't happening. Oh, we got another $2 chicken cash. I love that music. Thank you, C. Thomas. CNN is rich when they bring up party lines, as if that's something to be proud of. So sick of these annoyingly self-righteous assholes who break the law just to claim Trump broke the law with all this projections. I should have invested into IMAX. Yep, there you go. Thank you, C. Thomas, for the super chat there. It is, it's funny because when we were watching that little clip, she's talking about the solemnity of the situation, and she's having such a hard time not breaking into song and dance almost. She's trying to hold back the smile on her face. It's crazy. I'm sorry. All right, let's do this. Let's get into my bookmarks real quick, and then when we get into Twitter trends, I'm sure we'll spend a little more time on impeachment, because that'll give some people time to tweet about it. But a couple things that were happening the day before yesterday. We talked a little bit yesterday about this Horowitz IG report, and so I happened to be scrolling through Twitter, and oh wait. Oh, before I forget, something absolutely awesome happened yesterday, and I almost forgot. I am just I saw this and I'm like, yes, this is freaking awesome. So I think perhaps you've heard, maybe you haven't, but Cenk Uygur from the Young Turks is running for Congress for the seat that Katie Hill has abandoned. And there is also, now Katie Hill's endorsed this other woman. I can't remember her name, whatever. But there's another Democrat in the district running that has ties to the district, but Cenk Uygur is carpetbagging and running in that district, says he's going to move there if he wins or blah, 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 blah. Cenk Uygur got a major endorsement yesterday. Did you all hear about this? Did you hear about this? This is awesome. And I am so excited just because it's funny to me that Cenk Uygur is running for office, because all the shit that he's done, all the embarrassing stuff, it's going to all be front and center. I mean, a lot of people know about it. But anyway, so Cenk Uygur from the Young Turks gets this major endorsement from none other than Bernie fucking Sanders. Here's Bernie Sanders' statement endorsing Cenk because... here's Bernie Sanders' statement. He says, quote, I'm endorsing Cenk because I know he will serve ordinary people. Let's read the whole thing, though, because I am just... This is freaking awesome. Here it is. Senator Bernie Sanders endorses Cenk Uygur for Congress, the California's 25th congressional district. I'm endorsing Cenk because I know he will serve ordinary people, not powerful special interests. His voice is a voice we desperately need in Congress and will be a great representative for California 25 and the country. Los Angeles County, today's Senator and 2020 presidential candidate Bernie Sanders endorsed Cenk Uygur in the race for the California 25th district. For many years, Cenk has been one of the outstanding progressive journalists in our country. He has shown enormous courage in standing up and to greed and the power of the corporate elite, and has spent his entire life fighting for justice and the needs of working people of this country. Cenk has been a strong advocate for Medicare for all and believes that healthcare is a human right, not a privilege. He understands that climate change is an existential threat to our country and the planet and will fight for the Green New Deal. He has been a leader in our country in fighting to end a corrupt political system in which billionaires can buy elections. For years, Cenk has inspired people across the country to organize and against corrupt forces in our politics, and now he's organizing the people in his district to do the same. Now, let me make a note here. Cenk doesn't live in the fucking district. But anyway, I'm endorsing Cenk because I know he will serve ordinary people, not powerful special interests. His voice is a voice we desperately need in Congress and will be a great representative for California 25 and the country, said Senator Bernie Sanders. Cenk Uygur. Well, Bernie and Cenk replies, Bernie Sanders is a legend. He has stood ground against the corporate interests corrupting our politics for over 40 years. He has fought for progressive all his life, and he has been right on all of the issues, and the whole country has moved in his direction. He has carried a whole movement on his shoulders. I believe Senator Bernie Sanders will be the next president of the United States, and it is an absolute honor to be endorsed by him. Of course! Cenk also received endorsements from prominent progressive Congressman Ro Khanna and Senator Nina Turner and former state senator from Ohio and national co-chair for the Bernie 2020 presidential campaign. So anyway, now the reaction has been priceless. I mean, it's been priceless to this. Someone named Daniel Marins wrote yesterday about how baffled progressives were that Sanders hadn't endorsed Jessica Cisneros in Texas, but he's endorsing Cenk first, and it's going to be just somewhat controversial on this website, apparently. There's a HuffPost article about that. Down here, he said, hey, Bernie Sanders, ever been to California 25? Have a clue how long it took Democratic activists to flip it blue last year? Cenk is clueless. He's a carpetbagger, and we don't need a sexist, misogynist asshole barging in here to steal Katie Hill's seat. Wow, there's a little bit of hostility there. Yeah, TYT is funded by Bill. Yeah, $20 million from the Katzenberg Group. Holy shit. Yeah, but he's against corporate interest. In fact, when Katzenberg gave him that $20 million, and that was around 2016, see how fast the Young Turks jumped on board for Hillary Clinton and basically endorsed her after Bernie dropped out? It was just pathetic. Let's see. And then someone here says, as a matter of fact, Bernie held a political rally at a temple at Porter Ranch. It was a shady, slimy thing for him to do. And let's see, what's TS North? Temple Avat Shalom lost me as a result. Bernie is a divider. He needs to stay out of our local elections. Oh, the people of California 25 don't seem real happy about this. More evidence that Bernie does not include women in the phrase ordinary people. Oh, shit. Shots fired. Ordinary people, including doing the bidding of inherited billionaires in Nexus Group and doing the bidding of Katzenberg, etc. Whoa, see, those are the guys who've been investing in the Young Turks. Gag me with a spoon. It's not even Chank's district. You know who else represents ordinary people? Christy Smith. Now, Christy Smith is the woman who is from that district. She's a state legislator, very popular in the area. But also, here's the problem with that district. Like they said, that it is a district that just barely flipped to Republican, flipped to Democrat with Katie Hill. Also, it's the district. You know who else is running in that district? I can't remember. There's first of all, I think the Republican that lost the district is running again, and also George Papadopoulos is running in that district. And do you think George Papadopoulos is going to pull any punches? Now, here's how it works in California. They don't run by party. You get on the ballot and and they run, and then they just have a runoff of the top two regardless of party. And that's one of those weird things they do in California. They can do however they want. That's their state. So it could end up possibly being two Democrats in the runoff. But I think what happens here is Cenk, who is, he's I wouldn't say he's popular, but he's well known. He could steal votes from this Christy Smith and fuck up the runoff a little bit. Now, they do run off the top two after the primaries, but still, California, they do it so they don't have to run any Republicans. You know, unless you live in a solidly Republican district, you don't get elected in California. But yeah, here's one. Easiest way to lose an election in LA County is to back an Armenian genocide denier. You know the story. Cenk, for years, denied the fact that there was an Armenian genocide in Turkey by a group called the Young Turks, which he named his show after. Oh, it's going to be priceless. There's also, there's a whole bunch of other stuff. Cenk has filed to run for Katie Hill's congressional seat in CA25. Cenk's no Obama, but one thing he has going for him is that he talks about how much he likes boobs and porn. He also tells a story of how his Turkish family caught their son kissing another boy and canceled HBO. Yeah, here's some old time Cenk Uygur.
Another Turkish family. They're a little kid watching HBO or Showtime or something.
Great story.
They caught him kissing another boy because he'd seen it on one of those shows. Right? And they lost it.
Right.
And they sounded the siren for all Turkish families within a 3-state perimeter. Okay, they're like, sound the gay siren.
Right.
We caught our son kissing another boy, and it was because of damn HBO and American filthy culture. I'm not kidding. Every Turkish family canceled HBO or didn't get it, right?
Right.
Now
look, this is from years ago. And he still does that, right? Right? I'm telling you, did it right?
Over to William Pope's house once for a sleepover. This was one of my best friends back then, Dope, we used to call him.
Mm-hmm.
And he had HBO. Do you know that they had boobs on HBO every night?
Yeah.
It was like the greatest night of my life. I stayed up the whole night. Dope's like, all right, come on, Jack, let's go. I'm like, are you kidding me? I just saw this movie, Chevy Chase movie, with a woman with designers. There was so many. I was like, Like, you know what? Thank God my parents didn't give me HBO.
Oh yes, just play this as a campaign commercial against Cenk Uygur. Now, granted, Cenk, now let's be just to be fair. Cenk has denounced his days as a party boy when he used to talk about women's boobs all the time and his trips to New Orleans, and there were boobs everywhere. And then when he was in Miami and all these hot women, he used to talk about that shit all the time. Okay, so but some people have long ass memories, and I said memories, people. I said memories. Oh, Bernie is a misogynist. People need to wake up. These are people. They're frying him, man. Barbara Lee. That's not the politician, Barbara Lee. So why isn't he running to serve the people where he lives? Why is he carpetbagging to run for a seat in a district he has no connection to? A seat that is vacant because of the same type of toxic misogyny that Cenk has made a career demonstrating. Oh, snap! I just love it. Anyway, so yeah, Bernie has... Bernie... This can't help Bernie at all. You know what? The problem is, so Bernie, and I don't think Bernie is going to win the Democratic nomination anyway, but could this be good for Bernie Sanders at all? Wherever he goes to say that Bernie Sanders endorsed Cenk Uygur? Anyway, all right, let's move on to the next one. I got more. What else I got? Oh, this is a thread by... So in the... here's some false statements by Adam Schiff in his response to the FISA memo from January 2018. Yes, a thread because there's a ton of false statements. So remember when the House of Representatives, the minority party, they were still in the minority at the time, put out this memo after Devin Nunes put out a memo talking about all the problems with the FISA warrants. And everything that Devin Nunes said about those FISA warrants have turned out to be true per the Inspector General's report. Everything he said. The fact that they didn't tell the FISA court that the Steele dossier was paid for by the Clinton campaign and the DNC. The fact that the FISA warrant relied on the Steele dossier. Other people, the Democrats are saying they didn't rely on the Steele dossier. Yes, they did. And the fact that all the bullshit in the Steele dossier that was wrong, it was not reliable. The people who brought that as part of their evidence. Whenever you bring evidence to the FISA court, you are under oath saying that information is true. And it was not. And they knew that it wasn't. They knew a lot of it was false. And so, first of all, all those people, we need the funk, don't we? Oh, thank you for reminding me, Maddie. We need some funk, don't we? Let's do some funk today. Okay. Tell you what, I'm going to let you vote, chat. I'm going to vote. We can either have funk or we can have some kind of, not Christmas music, but Christmas inspired jazz. Okay, little. You want more funky or want a little Christmas bells in there ringing and stuff? That's up to you. One, if you want funk-ish, whatever the stuff that I usually play, or if you prefer some jazzy, stylish, Christmassy kind of stuff. Okay, let's do that. Funk is the spoonful of sugar that helps the medicine go down. It truly is. Okay, you know what? I was going to actually give you all a choice, but I'm not now. I'm not giving you a choice. After that, the spoonful of sugar that makes the medicine go down, we're going to go with some little old school funk type stuff here. Let me make sure I have enough to play for the... here, wait a minute. Hold it. We want just instrumentals. I don't want people singing on me. All right. We're going to start levels right. That looks right to me. I'm trying to get that level right. I see funk, and you know what? It's Friday funk. Yep, not Friday kind of jazz. I'll do Christmas music all next week, or Christmas Eve music. I'll just talk louder. Is that okay? I don't want to level out. Well, it'll be all right. I'll be plenty loud. I'll make sure that I'm louder than the funk. I have a hard time fixing this level. Let me see if I can turn this. down just a little bit. That should be a little better. All right, let's get into the okay. Oh my gosh. Did you see the Did you see my Did you see the picture I used today for this thumbnail yet? It's Friday the 13th, and that's pretty damn scary, isn't it? There it is. That's an appropriate thumbnail for Friday the 13th. Oh, good Lord. Would you want that coming at you at camp, whatever that was I just showed you earlier? Alrighty then. That's enough of that, because that is too scary to me. Let me get that off my screen. I don't even want to see it out here. All right, so we were talking about Adam Schiff. By the way, thank you, G Prime of Christmasville Holidayland. That's a nice name. And Diesel Dave also for tweeting out the show. I appreciate you very much. Stop showing penises on YouTube. Yeah, I might get a community guideline strike for that picture. Oh my Lord. All right, back into the bookmarks. Adam Schiff has some issues with truth telling. And so we got this thread by Will Chamberlain. And let me put it back on the screen here. So Will Chamberlain says, yes, it's a thread, and there's a ton. So here's something he said. He said the committee's minority has therefore prepared this memorandum to correct the record. Christopher Steele's raw intelligence reporting did not inform the FBI's decision to initiate its counterintelligence investigation in late July 2016. In fact, the FBI's closely held investigative team only received Steele's reporting in mid-September, more than 7 weeks later. The FBI and subsequently the Special Counsel's investigation into links between the Russian government and the Trump campaign associates has been based on troubling law enforcement and intelligence information unrelated to the dossier. Well, that statement is false. Yes, the initial... Okay, let me ask y'all a question. So, they said that the whole investigation was started because of George Papadopoulos, and George Papadopoulos was talking to this Stephen Halper dude, right? So talking to Stephen Halper and wherever they were in Europe at the time, and over some beers or cocktails or whatever, saying that yes, maybe somebody Russian or whatever approached him to have, that said that something about Hillary Clinton emails, right? That some dirt on Hillary Clinton. So then why, perchance, did they seek a FISA warrant to surveil Carter Page? Well, the reason is because it was Carter Page's name in the Steele dossier. Okay, they were saying that Carter Page was part of that. So does that make sense? If you're talking about George Papadopoulos, why are they investigating Carter Page? Well, they wouldn't have had his name if it weren't for that. Okay, so that's false. The DOJ, and here's another one. The DOJ made only narrow use of information from Steele's dossier. That is false. DOJ's October 21, 2016 FISA application and 3 subsequent renewals carefully outlined for the court a multi-pronged rationale for surveilling Page, who at the time of the first application was no longer with the Trump campaign. DOJ's detailed Page's past relationship with Russian spies and interactions with Russian officials during the 2016 campaign. The Department of Justice cited multiple sources to support the case for surveilling Page, but made only narrow use of information from Steele's sources. That is false! About Page's specific activities in 2016, chiefly his suspected July 2016 meetings in Moscow with Russian officials. Now remember, at the time, Carter Page was a CIA asset, and the FBI knew that. Remember, the guy who altered the document is the one who said he wasn't. but the CIA had confirmed to the FBI that he was a CIA asset, or a former CIA asset. All right, so that's that. Let's see this one. Oh, the FISA was not used to spy on Trump or his campaign. As the Trump campaign and Page have acknowledged, Page ended his formal affiliation with the campaign months before the DOJ applied for a warrant. DOJ, moreover, submitted the initial application less than 3 weeks before the election, even though the FBI investigation has been ongoing since the end of July 2016. The DOJ's warrant request was based on compelling evidence and probable cause to believe that Page was knowingly assisting clandestine Russian intelligence activities in the U.S. Yes, that is false. This is from the, if you just got here, this is from, remember Adam Schiff made his own memo after the Nunes memo came out? And these are statements that Adam Schiff knowingly lied because he had all the same information that Devin Nunes had. He lied his ass off. That is false. And in fact, they couldn't get a warrant based on the information they had. So the only way they could get the actual warrants, they presented the Steele dossier to shore up what they needed to get a warrant because they knew they didn't have enough. So they used this fake ass document to get the warrants. Here's another statement from the, I'm just going to call this the Schiff memo. I didn't say shit memo, but it is a shit memo too, but it's the Schiff memo. Here's another one. In subsequent FISA renewals, the Department of Justice provided additional information obtained through multiple independent sources that corroborated Steele's reporting. That is false. Pages in Moscow with senior Russian officials now, as well as meeting with Russian officials as a CIA, but he was still a CIA asset. This information contradicts Page's November 2nd, 2017 testimony to the committee in which he initially denied any such meetings and then forced to admit speaking with whatever. He was a CIA asset at the time. Just saying. All right, what else? From the Schiff memo, additional omissions and errors and distortions in the majority's memorandum. The DOJ appropriately provided the court with a comprehensive explanation of Russia's election interference, including evidence that Russia courted another Trump campaign advisor, Papadopoulos, and that Russian agents previewed their hack and dissemination of stolen emails. In claiming there is no evidence of any cooperation of conspiracy between Page and Papadopoulos, the majority misstates the reason why DOJ specifically explained Russia's courting of Papadopoulos. Papadopoulos' interaction with Russian agents. By the way, Papadopoulos never interacted with Russian agents. Coupled with real-time evidence of Russian election interference, provided the court with a broader context in which to evaluate Russia's clandestine activities and Page's history of an alleged contact with Russian officials. That is false! The subsequent FISA warrants, the renewals, so to speak, were all still based on the Steele dossier. How about this? In court filings, the DOJ made proper use of news coverage. The majority falsely claims that the FISA materials relied heavily on a September 23rd, 2016 Yahoo News article by Michael Isikoff, and that this article does not corroborate the Steele dossier because it is derived from information leaked by Steele himself. That, the majority's opinion there was absolutely true. In fact, he continues, in fact, DOJ referenced Isikoff's article alongside another article the majority fails to mention, not to provide separate corroboration for Steele reporting, but instead to inform the court of Page's public denial of suspected meetings in Moscow. Which Page also echoed in a September 25th letter to James Comey. This is false. The Isikoff article, it was given to, the information given to Isikoff was from Michael Steele. He planted it in 2 different news sources, and then when the dossier come out, the FBI used those articles, which was basically, it's like circular reasoning. Steele leaks the information to these 2 news sources, then he gives this material to the FBI, and then says, well, look, these 2 news sources see that same information. That's how they corroborated in the court. So Steele, Schiff is full of Schiff again. And the last one he does here, Bruce Orr is a well-respected career professional whose portfolio is drugs and organized crime, not counterintelligence. There is no evidence that he would have known about the Page FISA applications and their contents. I'm trying not to blow a gasket. The majority's assertions, moreover, are irrelevant in determining the veracity of Steele's reporting. By the time Orr debriefs with the FBI, it had already been determined Steele as a source and was independently corroborating Steele's reporting about Page's activities. No, they weren't, because that is false! Bruce Orr took the initiative to inform the FBI of what he knew, and the majority does him a grave disservice by suggesting he is a part of some malign conspiracy. Bruce Orr had the information because his wife, Nellie Orr, worked for Fusion GPS, who got the Steele dossier from, who were the company that got paid by the Hillary Clinton campaign and the DNC to get the Steele dossier. Bruce Orr is the guy who presented it, helped present it to the FBI. He was getting the information from his wife, who worked for the same company. That was false. Anyway, that's the Will Chamberlain thread. Hey, it's Friday the 13th. That's my scary laugh for the Friday the 13th. All right, moving on. What else did I bookmark here? I bookmarked all kinds of stuff that I found interesting. That's, we got to go back a couple here. And let's see. Oh, you know what? So, Chris Wallace. I'm kind of annoyed with Chris Wallace. And this is fascinating because I hear this all the time from journalists. And so let's just look at this article real quick. It's a dumb article. Apparently, Chris Wallace was at it's called the Newseum, like museum, but with an N. And he was giving a speech there. And Chris Wallace says that Trump is engaged in the most direct, sustained assault on freedom of the press in our history. Now, first of all, Trump can criticize the press all he wants to, okay? He is free to hate the press and criticize them constantly. I want to know from Chris Wallace, just before I even read this to you, can anyone tell me something that's specific that the Trump administration has done that has actually restricted the press, the news media of any sort, from reporting any kind of bullshit they want? If Trump was engaged in the most direct, sustained assault on freedom of the press in our history, tell me which press outlets he shut down for criticizing them. Is it have any of the media outlets, any one of the media outlets, changed their strategy based on President Trump? Have they stopped criticizing him? Has he put anyone in jail? Has he, changed laws on what they can and cannot do? Can anybody tell me that? Fox News host Chris Wallace blasted President Trump for attacking journalists and the press at a recent speech he gave in Washington, D.C. Quote, I believe President Trump is engaged in the most direct, sustained assault on freedom of the press in our history, Wallace said in a speech Wednesday honoring the First Amendment. Ours is a great profession. Hey, you know what? Here's the other thing. You know who Chris Wallace works for? Chris Wallace works for Fox News, the evil Fox News. Which, honestly, I'm impressed because I thought Fox News was all sycophants for President Trump, but apparently there are people at Fox News who dissent from the, what you assume the opinion, like the opinion writers at Fox News, the opinion journalists at Fox News. There are people at Fox News who don't agree with President Trump. I think that's fantastic, okay? I think Fox News should be able to have people who are don't like Trump, some people who are just do straight news, some people who like Trump, and a whole array. Do you see that at CNN or MSNBC? Nah. Now, I know Shepard Smith is gone, but Chris Wallace is still there, right? He still works for Fox News. He continues, ours is a great profession. Maybe the best way to make a living anyone has ever come up with. Think of it. We are paid to tell the truth. Oh my gosh. How many lies, just flat out lies, how many falsehoods have we seen from the media in the last, in my lifetime? 50, 60, whatever, how old I am, 50 something. I'm 50 something. How many damn falsehoods? I mean, just straight out fake lies. Yeah, they're paid to tell the truth. Do they always tell the truth? Nope. Not even, no. They make up BS all the time, and they don't play it straight down the middle. But anyway, Chris Wallace, for the most part, does, but he's very critical of the president. That's fine. It's his prerogative. But the idea that we are paid to tell the truth, to cut through all the spin, all the distractions, and tell the American people what is really going on. Wallace, 72, told the crowd at museum that the press would outlast Trump. Well, of course they will, because Trump's only going to be president for a total of 8 years. Let's see what I did there. The bottom line is we've seen presidents come and go, the host said. We will endure. So will freedom of the press. And I'm confident so will the museum. Yeah, because freedom of the press is one of the basic tenets in the First Amendment of our Constitution. So yes, the press is free to report. And guess what? Nothing Trump has done has prevented them from doing that. Now, does he ridicule the hell out of him? Did he call him any of the people? Does he just tell them straight up how much he doesn't like them? Of course he does. He does it all the time. How does that restrict their... What does he say up here? What's the words he used? He used a direct, sustained assault on freedom of the press. Really? How is he stopping you? Has he stopped you writing anything that you want to write? In fact, Chris Wallace, you just said he's engaged in the most direct, sustained assault on freedom of the press in our history, which is a lie. Well, okay, lie. That's an opinion, but it's kind of a lie. Okay, it's kind of a lie, Chris, and I can kind of explain why just by going into the responses to this tweet from the Washington Examiner. First of all, let's see. There's a couple. It's down here somewhere. Well, here's some of the responses. It's sad about how age has affected Wallace's mind. Dementia is a horrible thing. Hopefully one day they will have a cure. He used to be hood at reporting, or I think they meant good, actual news, but now acts just like one of the corrupt press people out there. He's a master at gossip, not news. Now that's false. I think Chris Wallace is a very good interviewer, and what he does, he asks the questions that the person who's in front of him probably should be answering, but really doesn't want to answer or doesn't want to hear. And that's fine. I think he does that. And he does that to both people on the right and people on the left. I think he's a great interviewer. But certainly how does the president restrict his ability to do his job as a journalist? He doesn't. But he does call into question the veracity of how the news media operates. And that should be called into question. You should be questioning the media. So shut the hell up, Chris. Someone had some great examples of much worse meddling with the media by prior president. Well, just take President Obama, for example. Okay, President Obama had FBI agents following, what was that? I can't remember the guy's name. But I wanted to indict a person for not giving a source or something like that. I mean, it's just like, come on. Where is it? Yeah, there's so many replies now that it's not going to be in here. Anyway, let me scroll up a little bit on this because I think I had an example. Well, anyway, let's get back to let's go to the next one. We'll put this back on the screen here. Remember we were already talking about Adam Schiff, the Chicago Tribune. Now, I think maybe this guy didn't understand that the Chicago Tribune tends to be a little bit more on the conservative side. They have another article on Adam Schiff. By the way, before I do that, some more people showed up. Good morning, Maddie, Jen T, Green Thunder, Demighty, Richard was already here. Cynical Lindsay, I think I said. Mark Brown, how you doing? That's a name I've never seen before. I'm glad you're here. And Six, how you doing, brother? All right. This is a column. Horowitz report finally unmasks Adam Schiff. Who's going to call him out on his lies? This is by John Cass. Now that the Horowitz report is out, revealing all those lies told by the FBI as it worked to hamstring a presidency with the debunked Russia collusion theory, here's a question. Where do U.S. Representative Adam Schiff, the Inspector Javert of Trump Impeachment Theater, and Schiff's eager handmaidens of the Washington Democratic media complex go now to get their reputations back? Yeah, they're shot. They're anyone who went along with the Schiff memo, as opposed to the Schiff memo, the Schiff memo, they should be hanging their heads in shame. Because everything they said about the FISA warrant was BS. Okay, straight up. Hello, Longfish, by the way. Nowhere. There's no place for them to go. It really doesn't matter where Schiff goes. The Democratic chairman of the House Intelligence Committee will be blamed when impeachment boomerangs on the Democrats. Schiff's Washington Beltway establishment media handlers, those who've carried his water for years may ignore the impact of the Horowitz report has on Schiff's reputation. They might just spit it all away, and the more witless among them have already reverted to their default positions, tribal hooting, while comparing anyone who disagrees with them to Hitler. This article's kind of funny. If you want the short version, just scroll through Twitter for the angry, disembodied cartoon heads. But there are many intelligent, thoughtful, liberal members of the press who, when it comes to Schiff, must be thinking, my God, what have I done? It is Friday the 13th, so maybe that's it. My God, what have I done? Because if there's one thing that comes through in the report from the Obama-appointed Department of Justice Inspector General, Michael E. Horowitz, and from his testimony on Wednesday before the Senate Judiciary Committee, it is this. Schiff is a dissembler, a prevaricator, a distortionist, a spreader of falsehoods, and in Chicago, we use the short word, liar. It was Schiff who insisted that all along that FBI and Department of Justice officials did not abuse the FISA courts or hide information from judges. But according to Horowitz, that's exactly what the FBI did. The DOJ met the rigor, transparency, and evidentiary basis to meet the FISA's probable cause requirement, insisted Schiff, chairman of the House Intelligence Committee in 2018 memo that should be carved into marble. That is a lie. But the FBI didn't meet those rigorous standards. It didn't offer transparency. Officials hid evidence from the court or fabricated evidence to get what it wanted. It was Schiff who insisted that the FBI didn't heavily rely on the so-called Steele dossier the salacious Democratic Party paid for Oppo research against Trump. But Horowitz shows that the FBI relied heavily on the salacious dossier and even made up evidence to keep the dossier useful before the courts, though key officials knew what was in it wasn't true. We also know that Schiff lied to the public about what had happened, as his media handmaidens protected him and trashed his fellow House Intelligence Committee member, Representative Devin Nunes, a California Republican, who tried to warn the country of FISA abuse. Why is FISA abuse relevant beyond whether Trump wins re-election or not? Because faking evidence and lying about it to the courts to continue receiving surveillance warrants on Americans is a threat to all our liberty, and I would say it's a felony. It's a felony. It's felony perjury. Anyone who has their name on it. I don't care who it is. Rod Rosenstein signed one of those FISA renewal warrants. Rod Rosenstein should be in court fighting a perjury charge right now. Anyone who signed those warrant applications saying that what they gave the court was true and researched and not, infallible, which it should have been, anything, because the court relies on what you giving them to be true before they give you the warrant. The Steele dossier was full of bullshit. 17 major factual errors in it. Okay? False, made up shit. Okay? And also they lied and changed the status of Carter Page, who was a CIA asset. The FISA abuse also weakens congressional support for the FISA court, which has been used in terrorism investigations. Yeah. Hello. I don't like secret courts, and I don't like putting courts in an oversight role over the executive branch, a job that properly belongs to Congress. But there are bad actors out there who want to kill Americans, and such courts can be necessary. And for the FBI to create a climate where these law enforcement tools could be thrown out is unconscionable. All for politics. All for Madam Secretary. That show's going off the air. Did you know that? Anyway, the show they made, they actually made a TV show trying to make the Secretary of State position just so, I don't know what the word is, sexy, so to speak. When the Horowitz report was released a few days ago, some media and Democrats, oh, that's redundant, claimed it was a vindication for the FBI because he did not find that the Russia-Trump investigation was a political hit job ordered from on high. Some of the headlines I read as the report was about to be released were quite ecstatic, almost giddy. So was former FBI boss James Comey. He prattled on in an emotionally turgid Washington Post op-ed bragging that he had been vindicated. Not a chance, sir. Yet in an exchange Wednesday with Senate Judiciary Chairman Lindsey Graham, Horowitz said the report vindicated nobody. The activities we found did not vindicate anybody who touched this. Anybody who touched it and signed, oh my gosh, all the people who signed their name to it. Ooh, man, they are in trouble. And the dude who altered the email about Carter Page being a CIA asset, saying that he was not an asset. Oh, that mother. He's going to jail. I need some coffee. Horowitz. Oh, but here's the thing. So the activities we found here don't vindicate anybody who touched this, Horowitz said. Well, let's ask a question. Did Comey touch it? Or is he such a Washington silky that he would know how to avoid direct responsibility, but be able to smile the moment an underling slips in the knife? Yeah. Did that lawyer that changed that information about Carter Page, did anyone tell Comey? Or are they just going to let him, they're going to throw that dude under the bus? Hey, but lots of people signed the FISA warrant. Guess what? It doesn't even matter that the guy changed the information about Carter Page. because the Steele dossier, which they all proclaimed under oath was complete, true, and factual, was not complete, true, and factual. Horowitz could only interview. Oh, and here's the other thing. Here's the thing. Horowitz could only interview current FBI and DOJ employees. So determining who slipped in the knife wasn't Horowitz's job. That is the job of U.S. Attorney John Durham, who is conducting a criminal investigation into how all this began. So remember, they said that the only people they interviewed were people. Well, guess who were current employees? Well, guess who are not current employees? James Comey, Andrew McCabe, Peter Strzok, Lisa Page. And I think Bruce Orr is not in the Justice Department anymore. So those 5 were not interviewed. So when they say, well, they were vindicated. Well, no. What Horowitz said is that we don't have any evidence on hand that determines that there was bias. Okay, he didn't say there was no bias. He said that we don't have any evidence that can prove bias. So there's still going to be some interviews, but they're not going to be by the Inspector General. They're going to be by the prosecutor from the U.S. Attorney from Connecticut, John Durham, who is investigating this. And John Durham, no matter, they're trying to paint William Barr as this, he's Trump's lawyer now. He's Trump's wingman, kind of like Eric Holder was Barack Obama's wingman. Well, it doesn't matter because John Durham has a history of bipartisanship and doing investigations on the up and up. And they're going to try to paint him as a Trump sycophant. Ain't going to happen. Sorry, they'll have plenty of evidence against these assholes. And hopefully lots of people go to jail. Okay, that's what I think. Okay, hi Sheograph, hi Functional. What's up? NWR Costin. I think I said hi to you already, though. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. Yeah, I think our nation. Durham was asked. Let's see. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, as I already said, Horowitz could only interview current FBI and DOJ employees. Determining who slipped the knife wasn't Horowitz's job. That is the job of respected U.S. Attorney John Durham, who's conducting a criminal investigation into how all this began. Durham was asked to do that by Attorney General William Barr, who doesn't agree with Horowitz that there wasn't a political motive in the FBI for what happened, and there's still lots of people and evidence that's out there. The other thing is, too, so the other thing is Horowitz could only talk to FBI personnel about this, right? And current FBI and DOJ employees. But there's another intelligence agency out there that he didn't do an Inspector General report on. And that would be the CIA. Oh, there's a few people in the CIA that need to be interviewed too, particularly John Brennan. Right? This shit ain't over. I think our nation was turned on its head for 3 years based on a completely bogus narrative that was largely fanned and hyped by a completely irresponsible press, Barr told NBC. I think there were gross abuses and inexplicable behavior that is intolerable for the FBI. Now, fancy that. That's kind of what Horowitz said. Inexplicable behavior. They didn't say there was bias, but they certainly behavior that they don't have a good explanation for. He said that over and over in that hearing. They don't have a good explanation for this behavior. All right, I'm running out of time, so let's get into Twitter trends. Hey, Marsupial Gamer, how you doing? By the way, if you are happy about the election results in Great Britain, throw a 1 in the chat. If you're not happy about the election results in Great Britain, put a 2 in the chat. I'm just curious what you think. If you're happy and you know it, clap a 1. If you're happy and you know it, click a 2. And so on and so on. All right. Let's go. Okay, so that we already talked about Shane Harris. I bookmarked that because I'm surprised this. First of all, before I get into Twitter trends, I'm still shocked that this statement is up. This Washington Post journalist still has not taken this down. This is from January 11th, 2018. Yes, I am telling you the dossier was not used as a basis for the fires warrant on Carter Page. Washington, he still hasn't taken it down. There's people asking, are you still sticking by this? Oh, Shane Harris is blocked. Oh, did he just block him? Oh my gosh, he's blocking people now. I'm sure. Roger Simon, how stupid would you have to be to spend money subscribing to the Washington Post? As Dorothy Parker put it, I'd rather flunk my Wasserman test than... Okay, never mind. All right, let's get into Twitter trends because I got to get out of here. Clicky, clicky, clicky. Just go explore, explore, explore. Stop showing penises on YouTube. What? Oh, those. Did someone do something? The penis fish? Did I show the penis fish? Did y'all see that? They're like somewhere in California. There's these fish washing up on shore, and they're known as the penis fish because they look like a penis. I've never seen it before. It's kind of weird. Okay. 3. See, Thomas, you always got to be difficult, but you know what? You are one of my more prolific super chatters, so I'll bear with it. Okay. Now, just for real quick, I always like to check out what the headlining title on the Twitter trends is, and they're talking about Bill Burr. Comedian Bill Burr's turn on The Mandalorian is another pleasant surprise for fans. I don't know about this. Is this? Oh, it's just a GIF. Spoiler warning, the comedian who was once on Breaking Bad appears in Chapter 6 of the Disney Plus series. Oh! Okay, so he's Bill Burr was in the show. Okay, I haven't started watching that yet. How Star Wars hating comedian Bill Burr got his The Mandalorian role. He once said the original Star Wars was like a cheesy self-help book put in outer space with like the Muppets. Okay. So anyway, Bill Burr has a role in The Mandalorian. All right, let's get into Twitter trends so I can get out of here. Obviously, Friday the 13th is trending number 1. And, oh, look at this. Some of the Remainers' biggest nightmare came to true on Friday the 13th. How about that? Now they put this article on here, something about it. Okay, whoa, what? Log in? Oh, go straight to hell. I'm not. Forget you. Let's just click on Friday the 13th because I don't. Okay, on Friday the 13th, here's a reminder that the cat-related NFL teams are combined 1-18 since Monday Night Football. Since that Monday Night Football Black Cat appeared. Wow, that is wild. I'm going to read that again. On Friday the 13th, here's a reminder that the cat-related NFL teams are combined 1-18 since the Monday Night Football Black Cat appeared. Yes, it's a little scary, isn't it? Okay, Friday the 13th. Well, that's spooky. I don't know what that's, I don't even remember their names from whatever that show was. Mulder and something. X-Files? Okay. It's Friday. The X-Files. That's Scully. Okay. Happy Friday the 13th to the 13th Doctor Who. And there she is. Has anyone watched the Doctor Who with the female Doctor Who? Which I don't even care. Doctor Who comes back as a different person every time, so I don't care that they have a female Doctor Who. I mean, it's it's just a little different, but whatever. Moving on. And this was the one that I had before. I showed you this one with these different scenes from the movie Friday the 13th back in the day. Welcome to Camp Crystal Lake, and don't forget. If you see someone that looks like Adam Schiff, run! Sorry, I just blew your ears out. Anyway, Friday the 13th is, what? Friday the 13th tape chase? What? Anyway, lots of stuff. Oh, there's a scene. Oh, he's coming at you. Here he comes with his big old knife, and he kills that girl. All right, enough about Friday the 13th. Moving on, going to number 2, Danny Aiello. Oh, no! Man, I'm getting old. Danny Aiello has passed away. Just in, Danny Aiello, who starred in Do the Right Thing among dozens of other films over a career that spanned nearly 50 years, has died. His family confirmed. He was 86 years old. It's interesting they used Do the Right Thing as the movie they feature, but Dan realized how many movies he was in. He was in a lot of movies. And there's people out here, Adam Baldwin, rest in peace, Danny Aiello, Jake Tapper mentions it, the New York Times. Everyone's reporting on that. So that's sad. That's sad for the world of Hollywood. Trending number 3 is Friday Feeling. Our first Friday, that's not the Friday the 13th. So let's get a Friday feeling here. National Coalition Against Censorship. If this nation is to be wise as well as strong, if we are to achieve our destiny, then we need more new ideas for more wise men, reading more good books in more public libraries. These libraries should be open to all except the censor. Okay, so that's a John F. Kennedy quote, being against the banning of books, I guess. That's a good Friday feeling, I guess. Foxy, the Wary Fox says, this is the most partisan impeachment in history. It is the only impeachment in history where no crime or evidence of a crime are present in the articles of impeachment. And that's the truth. When you impeach a president, you're trying to overturn the election and remove him from office. That's a quote from none other than Jerry Nadler when he was about 200 pounds heavier. I'm not fat shaming though. Just YouTube. I'm not fat shaming. And this kid has some Friday feeling going on. He's jamming. Okay, that's my Friday feeling right there, cause it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. All right, moving on. Let's get on to the next one here. Number 4 trending, the impeachment vote. We were expecting that to move up. It'll probably be number 1 anytime soon. Of course, Oliver Willis is happy. House Judiciary Committee 23-17 votes to send Donald Trump's article of impeachment to the floor of the House of Representatives. Yes, we knew though that. Mad scientist, the motherfucker Donald Trump has been impeached. No, he hasn't. Not quite. Not quite, but it could happen if the House of Representatives votes to do it. Okay, so he hasn't been impeached, but you got to be smarter than a box of rocks to know that. And this guy says, you're as dumb as you look. Is all that smog affecting your higher brain functions? So basically a lot of news about it. Oh, Ambassador Rob, Republicans put their party above our national security. Republicans put Trump above our national security. Republicans put Trump above their constituents. Republicans put Trump above the Constitution. You know what? Yeah, morons. Do you know that right now the American economy is booming? We're getting some concessions from Canada and Mexico in a new trade agreement that was championed by Trump. We're getting some, all kinds of just shit. You don't even have to like Trump to admit that the country's doing well. But you can't say that. You can't give him credit for anything. Okay? But this is great. Now, I was hoping I would see this name today. Representative Hank Johnson, okay? And I'm going to give you a little reminder of who Hank Johnson is. So Representative Hank Johnson says, today I voted in favor of articles of impeachment against President Donald J. Trump in Judiciary Committee. The articles for abuse of power and obstruction of justice of Congress now go to the full House for a vote. Now, let me remind you who Congressman Representative Hank Johnson is. I just happen to have that right here. This is Hank Johnson. Remember Hank Johnson? Here he is.
Why that at its widest level is 12 miles from shore to shore, and at its smallest level, or smallest location. It's 7 miles between one shore and the other. Is that correct?
I don't have the exact dimensions, but to your point, sir, I think Guam is a small island.
Very
relatively
small island, and about 24 miles, if I recall, long. So 24 miles long, about 7 miles wide at the least widest place on the island, and about 12 miles wide on the widest part of the island. And I don't know how many square miles that is. Do you happen to know?
I don't have that figure with me, sir. I can certainly supply it to you if you'd like.
Yeah, my fear is that the whole island will become so overly populated that it will tip over and capsize.
We don't anticipate that. The Guam population, I think, currently about 175,000, and again, with 8,000 Marines and their families, it's an addition of about 25,000 more into the population.
The whole island will become so overly populated that it will tip over and capsize.
We don't anticipate that.
That, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, no, I'm not playing again. No, what the hell are you? No, I'm not playing again. That's Congressman Hank Johnson. That is him. Yes, sirree. Yes, sirree. And he voted for impeachment today. Good job, Hank Johnson. All right, moving on. Impeachment. Yeah, everyone's going to be talking about impeachment. Or they're talking about the impeachment vote. There is no impeachment yet. Okay, they still have to take it to the House of Representatives for a vote. There probably will be some debate on the floor of the House. They said sometime later next week they will vote on it. I don't know if the minority hearing is going to be done. Apparently Nadler said that he was going to let them do it, but it's a little late that they've already sent the articles to the House of Representatives. But, whatever. Yeah, Hank Johnson. Moscow Mitch McConnell. Well, Friday Thoughts is next. Now people and everyone. Oh, Newsweek. Okay, Moscow Mitch McConnell trends after Senator vows total coordination with the White House and Trump impeachment trial. Well, here's the deal. Okay, now here's what McConnell was doing. McConnell was asked about this because they said that Lindsey Graham said they wanted to just have, if it comes to the Senate, they want to have it quick and be done, be over with. And apparently there's a conflict because the White House wants to bring out every witness they can bring out and then let it drag out for however long before the Senate votes. The Senate's not going to vote to remove him from office, period. They're going to find him not guilty, and the Democrats can suck wind. And if they're lucky enough to win the House and the Senate, they can try again because they already said they're going to try to impeach him again. They may not keep the House after this. But anyway, so McConnell says, well, we're going to talk with the White House attorney and see, we're going to coordinate how we're going to do it. So here's what he said specifically.
Take a decision about the way forward. And everything I do during this, I'm coordinating with White House counsel. There will be no difference between the president's position and our position as to how to handle this to the extent that we can. We don't have the kind of ball control on this that a typical issue, for example, comes over to the House. If I don't like it, we don't take it up. We have no choice but to take it up, but we'll be working through this process, hopefully in a fairly short period of time, in total coordination with the White House counsel's office and the people who are representing the president in the will of the Senate.
So the smear on Mitch McConnell, they like to call him Moscow Mitch, saying he's working for the Russians. This whole Russia thing is very tired. I'm sorry. They can't think of anything else, so they come up with Moscow Mitch. Anyway, whatever. The Democrats got to know that this ain't happening anyway, so who cares? Moving on, we've got Happy. Oh, by the way, I know that all of you are just just are so happy that it's Taylor Swift's birthday. Now, one thing I do kind of respect Taylor Swift for. I'm not she's a very, very popular musician and whatnot, and it's her birthday, and she's Artist of the Decade and Woman of the Decade, or for whatever music award thing that she does. Something I am impressed with, though, she made a speech at some award she got, or when she got the Music of the Decade thing, Musician of the Decade, where she kind of lambasted the music industry and how it works as far as artists being able to own and sell their own music that they write, because apparently one of these people that in her management company sold all the rights to her music to a bunch of some other company, and I just think that was completely shitty. So the only thing, of course, she said something about toxic masculinity in it, which was stupid. But anyway, but I do respect her fighting to keep her own music, and I don't know that she's necessarily sold it away. How the music industry is pretty shitty. It has been pretty shitty in the past. They're still kind of shitty. So, although I do need to probably need to look into it a little deeper. But from just the initial aspect, it sounds pretty shitty. Oh, yesterday was Frank Sinatra's birthday too. He would have been 104. His era had the best Christmas music. That era wrote the best modern Christmas music, I thought. I know a lot of people like Mariah Carey. All I want for Christmas is you. It doesn't compare to the music that was written in the 40s. 40s, 50s, 60s. You think of the Christmas song, Mel Torme wrote that. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Jack Frost, Nicki Minaj, all that. And even Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Burl Ives. That's a great Christmas song, even though it's, a little silly and made for a TV show. But anyway, the only song of hers I've heard is Shake It Off. Not impressed. She's got a huge book of music, mostly when she was mostly country. And it's, her music's interesting. I'm not the age where I enjoy little young pop singer girls, but she has hundreds of songs. She writes all her own music. She's prolific as far as a songwriter, and so I respect her. I'm just not a fan. But we're talking about Taylor Swift again, or still talking about Taylor Swift. But anyway, she's 30 years old today, and she's been a pop icon for 13 years, 13 or 14 years at 30 years old. So happy birthday, Taylor Swift. Janoris Jenkins. Oh, dude. Janoris Jenkins in the NFL. Janoris Jenkins tweets, best news ever after news of him getting cut from the New York Giants. Well, shots fired. Okay. Tom Joyner is trending. He's what's it? After today, my friend Tom Joyner, the fly jock himself, will start retirement from the Tom Joyner Morning Show. After 25 dedicated years to his listeners, I have to thank Tom for all his work through the Tom Joyner Foundation to raise money for HBCUs, historically black colleges and universities across the country. He is a treasure. Congrats. That's Sheila Jackson Lee. Congratulating Tom Joyner. Tom Joyner is a radio legend. I don't agree with all his political opinions, but he has been out there for 25 years doing a radio show. Let's see, Andrew, and he's very popular on the left. He's a leftist. Andrew Gillum, after 25 years, the fly jock is undefeated, powerful, and damn funny. Tom Joyner's show showed millions what was possible, and it was my honor to fight with him to flip Florida in 2018, which they didn't do, Andrew. Sorry, you lost. Thanks for lifting all of us up. His happy retirement, my friend. So, yeah, Tom Joyner's been around for a long time. A very popular radio interviewer and host in the black community. All right, let's see. House Judiciary Committee is trending. We already know why. I'm going to go ahead and skip that. K Tranada returns with a new album titled Bubba. That's popular music. I'll skip that. Hudson Hawk is trending. Why? Oh, because of Danny Aiello. Danny Aiello was in Hudson Hawk. I was like, why the hell is Hudson Hawk trending? That's because Danny Aiello passed away. Very popular character actor. He was in Hudson Hawk with Bruce Willis, and that's funny to me that people are thinking about Danny Aiello and Hudson Hawk. Now Moonstruck, I get. He was in Moonstruck with Cher. And I can't remember what other actors. Okay, that's another Danny Aiello movie. That was a pretty good movie. Yeah, Hudson Hawk was a great movie. I just forgot that Danny Aiello was in it. Flamingos, I believe this is another. Oh no, this. Let's see. My husband is sending me pics of custom vans, and I don't know which ones I want for Christmas. Yes, I know the one is. Oh, apparently. So, why is flamingos trending? Like all these things about flamingos. Is it like National Flamingo Day? He was wearing some pretty cool flamingos. Demi Lovato as the flamingo. Oh, well, on The Masked Singer, it was Demi Lovato. Okay, I don't know why flamingos are. It's all different things. So for whatever reason, flamingos are trending. Flamingos are weird-looking birds. When we were in San Diego last summer, or this past summer, when we went on our trip down the coast. We were at the San Diego Zoo, and there's a huge flamingos in it, and they are quite a variety of sizes, but they're just weird birds, man. They're weird looking birds. Anyway, I don't know why it's trending. It's lots of people talking about flamingos. Papa Don't Preach. That was the Madonna video, which Danny Aiello was in. So lots of things about Danny Aiello. Are coming out. He was the father in that movie. Apparently, a song about her getting knocked up. And Bill Burr, West Lafayette is trending. What's happening in West Lafayette? I know that's where Purdue is. West Lafayette. Why is it trending though? West Lafayette, Indiana. Jackson, Mississippi, and West Lafayette, Indiana. Okay, here's the question. Colts Saints trivia. Because it's the answer to a quick trivia question. Anytime some radio station or someone has a trivia question for tickets for something, that something about that trends. And here's the case. Here is the question. Colts Saints trivia for 4 tickets to this Monday night's and $2,000 to help towards travel and $1,000 on your behalf of Indy Humane Society. Since 2000, the Colts and Saints have played each other in preseason games in 2 NFL U.S. cities. Name the 2 cities. Okay, and one of them was West Lafayette, and I think the other was New Orleans. Or I don't know. Oh, no, Jackson, Mississippi. West Lafayette, Indiana, and Jackson, Mississippi. So someone's going to have that correct answer and win 2 tickets and $2,000 to travel to the game. Green Badger Outdoors says, fun fact, flamingos urinate on their legs to keep cool. Okay, that's some trivia I could have done without, but thank you, Green Badger Outdoors, for being the outdoorsy type person you are and knowing that particular piece of flamingo trivia. Finally, Bill Burr is trending because he's going to be in The Mandalorian. Happy birthday, Taylor Swift. And the 2021 Z100 Jingle Ball. Every radio stations all over the country will be having a jingle ball. And I'm just going to leave it at that, hanging out there with the double entendre, because I need to get the hell out of here. So, hey, everybody, that's got to be it for today. I don't know if I'm going to stream tomorrow. Gosh, I've got a lot of people here today. This is awesome. Hi, Truck and Bear, by the way. Thanks for putting the stream out on Twitter. I appreciate that. Probably didn't say hi to Faithless or Wondering Lisa yet, so there's your hi. And that makes me high, just to make you happy. And Functional, I don't know if I said hi to you yet either. There's a bunch of people in the chat that I just... Del, you're happening. What's happening, Della Hayes? What was hilarious? What was that? Oh, yeah, the guy, Hank Johnson. Just worry that the island might tip over. I just don't know. I don't know. Anyway. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I do need to shout out Pincalo, or who's asked me? Pirate Pete, do you have the link handy? I'm gonna give you here. Let's do this. All right. Now, Pete, you have a wrench. Please put Blind Press's link to her stream in the chat, please. And I don't forget it. Functional, I'm not forgetting about you. Hi, how you doing? I'm glad you're here. Welcome. Blind Press has the coffee stream next. Please go visit her. And Grillin' Pirate Pete's going to put the link in the chat now that I've given him a wrench. And he can do that for me. Thank you guys for being here. I'm here Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, 3 p.m. I got to get I should just stop saying the GMT. 3 p.m. GMT for those of you in the other parts of the world, kind of like Richo. Richo's down in the land down under. It's really early in the morning there, or late at night, depending on whether he was drinking or whatever. Anyway, please, before you go, make sure you hit the like button on the way out, and also the share button and all that stuff down there. And if you are, she hasn't posted yet. She hasn't opened up a. Oh, okay. Hang on a second here. It's not. There's no. Let's see. Let me see if it's in my. Oh wait, notifications. Is she? Yeah. Okay. Here's how you do it. You click on your notifications, and then you do this: copy and paste. There we go. If you want to go check out Blind Press after me, and I'm done. Okay, so I gotta go. Thank you very much for being here. Donations through the Streamlabs, share button, like button, Twitter, PDogKnight, Gab Minds, PDogKnight, at PDogKnight, email, pdogknight@gmail.com. Thank you very much. I'm PDogKnight, and I am out of here. Have a great day. See you later. Bye-bye. Hey, this is PDogKnight, and thank you for watching today on the PDogKnight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterward so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through the Streamlabs link, which is also in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDogKnight, and I'm out of here.